Hi, today we're going to learn how to use VPN to stay secure and private online. Wow, this is a tough job. Just kidding. When you use NordVPN, all it takes is just a single click. See for yourself. Click, and you're browsing securely on public Wi-Fi. Click, your ISP can't see what you do online. Click, and you're in a different country. Well, virtually. Any device you have there, NordVPN has you covered. Everything else is just details. But if you care to know more, NordVPN has more than 5,000 servers all over the world. It protects your sensitive data with advanced encryption, shields you from malware and phishing sites, and keeps no logs of your online activity.
Click link in the description and get 68% discount for your first order. Choosing the style of arrangement. Choose the appropriate method to hang your artwork based on its size. Methods to display your art at home include hanging it. Determine how you want to display your art at home and utilize a venue that works with the quality and size of the art. For instance, larger and heavier pieces of art could be leaned against the wall, while lighter pieces of artwork can be matted or hung on the wall. It's best to lean large, heavy pieces of art against the wall, or your art may be knocked over or stepped on. Use photo frames that can be propped up if you're placing your art on a shelf. You can also lean your art against the wall for medium-sized pieces, but they may fall and break. More expensive pieces of art should be framed and hung on the wall. Black and white photographs of family and friends can be placed on top of a shelf. Expand your idea of what art can be. You can frame postcards, maps, old collages, or scrapbooking pages as an inexpensive alternative to traditional artwork. Prints or posters can be matted and then attached to the wall. Select your aesthetic style. The easiest way to determine your preferred aesthetic is to simply choose art that you like. Think of how the art that you choose reflects your personality as well as the effect that the art will have on space. Choose bright and expressive art to lighten up a dark room, or darker colored art to show your maturity and refinement. If you're looking to convey an edgy, urban style, hanging brightly colored pop art or graffiti art may be a great option. Black and white photography can add a sense of refinement to your space. Determine how it will affect the look of furniture in your space. Objects like desks, tables, and couches can affect the way that you should arrange your art depending on where they are located. For instance, when hanging art above a couch, the art should be 6 to 8 inches 15.2. Other things should also be taken into consideration include making sure your art matches the tone and style of the room. You can achieve this by matching the art's color palette with the color of your furniture and wallpaper. Another example is if you have a refined and adult-looking study. Using refined-looking figure drawing or scene art could help enhance the look of other things in your room. If you have rustic art but a modern sofa, separate them in the room to avoid the two styles clashing. Planning where your artwork will hang. Arrange your artwork on top of a piece of butcher paper. Before you hang your artwork and create unnecessary screw or nail holes, you can lay it out on the ground to get a feeling for how it will look when finally hung. Lay down a large piece of disposable paper and lay your artwork over it. Configure your art by starting with the largest pieces and then arranging your smaller pieces around it. Envision how it will look on your wall and choose a configuration that you find aesthetically pleasing. Rectangle, square, and diamond frames typically look best when hanging art. Smaller pieces of art look best when grouped 1 to 2 inch 2.55 cm apart from one another, while larger pieces of art typically look best with a 3 inch 7.6 cm border around them. Cut out the butcher paper around your photos. Use a marker to make an outline around your artwork onto the paper. Remove your artwork once you are done and cut out the outlines you drew. You'll use these pieces of paper to act as a visualization of how your artwork will look on the wall. If you rearrange your artwork on the floor next to your sheet of paper, you can save your design so you don't forget where your pieces of art should go. Tape your butcher paper to the wall. Once you've finished cutting out all of your pieces, you can now hang it on the wall with Scotch tape. It's possible that your layout will look very differently on the wall than it did on the floor. The centerpiece of your art arrangement should be about 5 feet 1.5 meters tall, so it's eye level with most people. If you have high ceilings, you can opt to hang the art higher than usual. Avoid placing your art above eye level in a room with standard ceilings, as this can make your room look imbalanced. Evaluate your layout and rearrange it. Take a couple of steps back and assess how your arrangement looks on your wall. If you're unsure, taking a break may allow your brain the rest it needs to evaluate the layout objectively. If you don't like something about it, move your pieces of paper around until the layout looks perfect. Arranging the layout perfectly in this step will help you avoid drilling unnecessary holes when you hang your art. If your floors are uneven, using a level may help you line up your artwork. Ask a friend to give you a second opinion regarding the positioning of the art before hanging it. They can help you determine what's most visually pleasing. Hang your art. Replace your pieces of paper with the artwork that you intend on hanging. Mark where you want the art to hang with a pencil. Hang your art on your wall using a nail or other mounting method. Popular mounting methods include using a wall anchor, a nail, or a hanging hook. When hanging larger and heavier artwork, you may need to use a drill to drive larger anchors into your wall studs. Command hooks and easy off tape are great hanging alternatives if you're a renter or don't want to damage your walls. Making your artwork cohesive, use the same frames and matting. Different styles and colors of frames will throw off your arrangement's cohesion. Use frames that have a similar style, size, and thickness. If you have a bunch of mismatched frames, a cheap and easy solution is to paint them all the same color. Matting is the material that's used behind the photo and should also have a uniform tone, though it doesn't always need to be the same color. Your artwork should maintain a uniform color across your different pieces. If you want to save money, you can paint mismatched frames the same color. Leaving frames mismatched can also create an eclectic look, if that's your style. Take a look at the dominant colors in your artwork and choose a mat that shares the same colors. Typically, artwork has a focal point, and your mat should be the same color as the focal point of the artwork. Use high contrast matte colors to add drama to a set of artwork. Determine if you want symmetry or asymmetry. Hung art can either be symmetrical or asymmetrical, but should be consistent wherever you are arranging it. Symmetry is when your art corresponds to size, shape, and spacing in relative. When you reach symmetry, your arranged artwork will look centered and balanced. If you have various sized frames or art, it may be a better idea to create an asymmetrical look. Asymmetry is also useful when hanging abstract art. To hang your art symmetrically, either imagine or draw a center line horizontally on your wall, parallel with the floor. Hang your pieces centered on that line. This is much easier to achieve when all of your art is the same size. To hang your art asymmetrically, imagine or draw a center line and vary the height and distance of each piece of art about the line. If you want to hang a piece of art above some furniture, find the center of the furniture piece, not the center of the wall. This will help your art look centered in the room to the eye. Create a theme. The way that you group your hanging artwork is important. Try to group art that shares a similar aesthetic or theme among your collection. For instance, you can arrange family photos together, art that shares a similar style, or black and white only or color only photography. This will give your art arrangement a deeper feeling of cohesion. Your artwork should be a representation of who you are or what you like. Try to achieve that by using pieces that you feel represent you. Choose a theme to create an interesting gallery wall that reflects your style. You can go nautical, rustic, modern, or shabby chic, for example.